this will change your blood sugar. If you have type 1 or a kiddo with type 1, you should know how this works. And if you don't, this could change the game for blood sugar. What happens is, let's say you take 4 units of insulin for breakfast, which was 40 carbs. And let's say our starting blood sugar is at 100 Bg blood glucose. So 4 units for breakfast, 40 carbs, blood sugar is starting at 100, and let's say our trend is stable. Now, if we have breakfast 40 carbs and 4 units, that means our carb ratio is 1 to 10. If you don't have a carb ratio, that in itself could change the game. I encourage you to ask your provider, or if you're unsure, feel free to DM me. That's something we can talk about, because I think that having a carb ratio makes all of a difference, okay? But here's the thing. Here's what I want you to understand. 4 units, 40 carbs, 100 blood sugar. Let's say that's at 8 a.m. Now let's say it's 11 a.m. and blood sugar is at 247. It's been 3 hours since you had breakfast, and now our blood sugar is at 247. Let's say we have a 1 to 50 correction factor 1 to 50, and let's say we want to get back down to 100, then theoretically 247 minus 100 equals 147, which is about 150. So 150 divided by a correction factor of 50 equals 3 units. We took 4 units at breakfast for 40 carbs, but we need 3 units of insulin because clearly this blood sugar didn't come down. Now, we're talking specifically about food and insulin. I recognize there's a lot of other situations that can happen. So we're just talking about if we know there are no other factors at play and this is what happens, then here's the information you need to know. This is the game-changing aspect. When we have these 3 units and this 4 units, let's say by 2 p.m., let's say we're having a late lunch, so we haven't had lunch yet, we're back down to 120 blood sugar. I wrote an M, whoops. And this is blood sugar, Bg, blood glucose. If we're back down to 120, then it kind of worked, right? Because we were at, where were we at? We were at 100, and then we went up to 247, and we come back down. We had breakfast, correction, and now we're sitting here. So overall, this correction, 3 units, breakfast, 4 units. This was good. This was not as good. What does that tell us? Well, here's the thing. If our carb ratio was 1 to 10, now let's assume we also pre-bolused 15 minutes. Let's assume we did everything we should have done correct. Now, here's what I would say is if 3 units is what you needed to correct that, we know that this blood sugar here was not just a high, it was because of breakfast. What you have to do is you have to say, well, if I took 3 units to correct this and it came back down, then start to finish over the course of this 6 hours, right? Because this is 3 hours and this is 3 hours. Over the course of the 6 hours, you actually needed 7 units of insulin. And again, if we assume nothing else is at play, that's the hard part. We'll talk about that in another video. But if we assume that 7 units, then we actually need 7 units for 40 carbs. Now that right there, well, what you do is you take 40 and divide by 7, 5.7 carb ratio, which could be a 1 to 5.5 or a 1 to 6 if we're rounding. What does that tell us? Your high blood sugar, it's not actually that you were high, it's that we didn't get enough insulin at breakfast. Through this backwards math, what we've learned is there are no other factors at play. And so we needed 4 units plus 3 units gives us 7 units. And now we just take that. 40 divided by 7 is 5.7. You can also do a 5.7. If you have a pump or something like that, you could use it. If you're on manual injections, I'm rounding to the closest thing that makes the mental math the easiest. Or if you use a calculator every time, be specific too. Use 5.7. Being as specific as you can is most helpful. If you can pick the exact number, that is what a lot of people would recommend. But if not, 1 to 5.5 or 1 to 6 might be a better carb ratio than 1 to 10, right? That doesn't work. This or this might be what works, or this, right? So if you understand this process, this will change your blood sugar. If you're going high because of meals and staying high because of meals and not coming down needing correction because of a meal, boom, this is the math. If this doesn't make sense, drop a comment, drop a question. I hope this makes sense. And if you need anything, DM me, okay? Also, I guess I should say, my name is Maddie. I'm a diabetes coach, T1 specifically, and then I also have type 1 diabetes, gang, and I am a registered dietitian. So I speak food. That's why this carbohydrate information makes a lot of sense to me. If it doesn't to you yet, we'll make it make sense together. I have a program where I teach people strategies just like this all the time. If this changes the game for you, there's a lot more you need to learn, and I want you to join me. So comment below with plan, the word plan, or DM me if you want more info. Take care, guys.